Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Turn Right Machine Works. My name is Keith, and this is Bouquet of Bullshit Part 2. All right, we're getting ready to braze up our cutouts so that we can have material to drill and tap into the hubs. Now, this one is one of the ones that is missing some material on this top face. So we're going to go up and fill these. Then we're going to lay it over slightly more. And we're going to make sure that we cover enough on the OD. Then we're going to bring it up. And then we're going to go around on the top until we raise up enough material that we feel that we're going to be able to face it off flush and give the original height off of this. All right. So one of the first things we're going to do, we're going to take a blanket and we're going to wrap it right around the bottom or the base of the hub. What this does is this stops or eliminates the draft coming up and underneath here and lets us continue to have closer temperature control for the brazing itself. All right, let's see. All right, that's pretty good. All right, now we had to send our new camera into the doctor's, and we were in the process of adapting a lens on the front of it, and we were successful on that. It had another issue and we wanted it to be covered. It was covered under warranty, so we sent it on in, and we went ahead and added our macro lens onto our Sony, which we haven't played with too much, and then put the lens on that. And I've just done some testing on, I did a hub already, and this is the second hub. So you're gonna get I perfected a little bit more of the video or the quality of picture that this is taking. So let's go off from there. We should be able to give you a good eyeball of how I apply my braze when I'm brazing. All right, so we're gonna bring this something like that. I like to braze and do just like you're doing a vertical weld with 7018. I can take and do a vertical braze, and the pockets here are perfectly milled out. I couldn't believe how nice it was because they are radiused. And we're going to preheat this thing. Once we get it preheated, then we're going to dab some flux in there, and then we're just going to and put some braze in there. Okay, we're going to start preheating this piece now that we have the right angle that we're going to want to work at. I think that was pretty close to what I had. We're semi set up on the other camera in position. We still have to give it some light and do a manual focus, double check, and then we'll be doing that. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to get this up to temperature first. And we just spin it, and gradually, we don't try to force any heat in it, we just gradually work it. We want the whole hub, you want it to come up to about 500 degrees. I start looking at the color change of where I've got it cleaned up here. When it starts turning a blue color, I know that we've got enough heat in there. Light blue, from the gold to light blue. And then that'll be about the range where I'll start focusing the heat where I want it on individual, and then as we go, it's almost like each one preheats the next one. This one here, we actually have a little hole going through into the inside because it was so close to that pocket. But when we braze it up, it'll form that pocket all over again. We'll work on the inside. We have one little score out on the flange where we kissed it with our grinder. We'll patch that in. No extra charge. Starting to get brown, and where we focused it a little bit, in a couple places it's blue, but not ready. We decided to do this process without putting a slug on the inside. If it comes in a little bit, we'll have something that this bore right here just kind of registers the cap that's going in there. Some of them are loose. We got a dimension there that we feel it's comfortable to turn it to, and we're just going to make sure that they're all clearance for that size right there. Everything else on the back side over there will hold its shape because we're not welding on that area, only around where that little bore is right here on this end. Okay, this is getting pretty close to being up to temperature. You can start to see some of the blues in there all the way around. On the new cut material, it shows up faster than the rusty area. Okay, for a second here, we're going to adjust the camera. This keeps the draft from going, so it does hold its temperature quite a bit. Okay, and of course we can't rock this. And I want to get the camera a little bit level there. Looks good. Okay, we bring in the zoom about where we want to video. I think that's going to be good. We'll bring it out just a little bit because I'd rather have it. Okay, now we're going to do some focus, but we're going to do it with some light on here because that lets us really get the finite focus. I like right there. Okay. Now we can go ahead and turn it on. Okay, with the remote. Okay, now we can get our gloves back on and continue. At least that way you know how I'm setting that camera up. The only thing that's different about that camera than how I normally use it to do regular videos, it has the macro lens attachment on it and the standard number 6 or 8 Brazing lens, just like this. Okay, I'm just going to touch it up here on the preheat again. Okay, I'm going to pick this one right here to start with. I'm going to bring it up here. About like that. I'm going to share the best view with the camera. I like bare rod, and then I like putting my own flux. This is number 2 flux, number 2 high heat flux. Okay, now we start focusing our heat right there on that one area. Brazing's about patience. I'll probably turn my torch down after a couple here once it starts getting warmed up here. Okay, now that you get a nice glowing color there, then we go ahead and we start adding in some flux in here. A couple dips, we can double dip it. Okay, now we get our mask down so we can see, just like the camera. Okay, and it just takes it. Okay, we flood it in there until it comes out to the outside edge. just like a vertical weld. You're just setting the beads on top of each other. And yet we're not turning the base metal into molten metal like you do when you're arc welding. It does get red hot, and you have to bring it back to that red hot stage before you'll actually lose any of your braze. So then we bring it right on up to the top there. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, I'm going to turn my torch down just a little bit. Okay. Same thing. See how much faster that actually preheated right there. It's already ready for flux. And you just got to roll the flux in there, and it's all coated. Once it's coated, it actually gets a little sheen to it. Okay, now we bring a little bit of heat to that bottom, and then boom. There you go. All you gotta do is hold your heat away for a second, and you can get it to solidify. And if you're a little shallow, don't worry, we're gonna make it up when we lay the thing down. Concentrate on getting the sides and the very back. Just like a drip castle on the beach. Okay, I'm going to join two rods together before I go for this next one here. I just got down to that piece I added on there. Okay, now this one has a little bit of a cutout here from the grinder, but that's okay. We can take care of that same way. Okay, now this next one's got an opening that's going inside. Okay, and I gotta add a rod here. Okay, here we go. We're just going to take a little bit longer breaks between our little stacks there. We'll give it a little upward angle here with our heat. Kind of focus more heat onto the rod than the puddle. As long as we keep it going, it keeps molten. There we go. Actually, it looks pretty good. We fluid it inside pretty good. All right, one more here. And then I'm going to take a break before I go for the next step. I'll blanket it and keep it warm. Okay, I'm going to put the blanket on here. That's going to hold the heat in here so that I can make it to the head and then get a drink of water. Okay, we just uncovered this and we sort of brazed our rods together here, so we got those taken care of. We got another one here, and here's my lens. All right, I like that. All right, I hope my microphone's doing fine where it's at. I haven't really checked that out, but okay, now we turn on our other camera here. I do have to make sure it's in focus. That'd be a waste. All right. Okay, I like that. All right, back up to warming it up. Now we don't do anything until we actually see the braze kind of level out and come out and grab that outside edge. There we go. Okay. Now we know that the base material is warm enough to accept the braze. So then we can just dab it, and all we're doing is making sure that we have a good layer that's going to come out, and we'll be able to turn the OD and make it round. Okay, little angle up on the torch, and I'll probably turn the torch down just a little bit. You kind of try to stack that up just a little bit there. Okay, turning it down. Okay. Grab our foot pedal here. Let's go around to the next one. Okay, I think that's good right there. Same thing here again. We don't put no rod near it till we know that that flows right out onto it. See it? There it goes. That way you don't get no air pockets. You know, that's a lot of people will braze something and they go, hey, but you get all those little pockets inside. Well, if you floated it right and you got the right temperature, there is no pockets. They flow right out. It burps itself. You work your torch so you keep your braze on the base metal, control the temperature between the two of them. That burped itself right out of there, okay? Little more flux around this side here. You can see when it needs it or not. And it's like it instantly cleans that surface and makes a bond. Look like it needs a little flux, so I'm just rubbing it on there. And watch it, it's clean, and then it'll just automatically just jump out there. There it goes. You can't expect that to do it on dirty surface. You gotta have clean metal. You can see there, it started getting a little hot, so just get away from it. Take and start putting your torch down so your flame is coming up. You stay off of your base metal for a little bit. You just stack it up like a drip castle. Been a while since I used this camera, so I wasn't sure if one blink was recorder or not. All right, one left here. And then we're going to turn it up on its end. Okay, we're going to reposition and cover it for a second here. Okay, we didn't have to wait too long. We just got repositioned here. We're checking out our messages. So let's go ahead and fire right back off. All right, we want to put a layer right around the top of this. Okay, I'm running low on acetylene, but I have tanks coming in this afternoon. I should have enough to do this one here, but I'm probably not going to start my next one until, or the last one, until I actually get the fuel here. Okay. I'm just going to add another rod on here. Okay. Okay, here we go. It really hasn't cooled down that much. We just want to make sure that we're right back up there and we're comfortable. We figured we were about 50 thousandths or so, probably light on the face here, and we're just trying to get the face back up to stock depth. I'm not sure how important it is. The customer was having the other guys just space it off clean, not worrying about the depth, but while I'm here, you might as well put it right back to, if you can, or as close as possible. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start right at this little joint right here where that little cavity is. That's actually the one that I welded right there. Or I should say that's where the braze flowed inside through the opening, that hole. All right, just a little tiny flux on here. There we go. What we're doing, we're focusing on the braze on this side of it here, because we want to go ahead and make sure that the braze, we're up to temperature to melt the braze, and then when it starts flowing, then we can add to it and go across the joint here. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's see, yep. Now we're on the thicker part. We gotta wait for it to warm up a little bit. Okay, here we go. Getting it all the way across from inside to outside. We don't care if it goes over the edge both ways. We just want it to make sure that we are flowing and we're sticking all the way across that whole face. Every once in a while you got to add a little flux because some of that area was kind of just hanging without any flux on it. At least until we get one pass all the way around here. Halfway around. A couple areas there I had to almost scrub it with the flux on the end of the rod there. Okay, here we go. There's another little area right there. You gotta take care of it before you go on. There's a couple areas where that stick rod that was used on this before. You can see a couple spots of that. When you preheat it, you really can see them because they show up different than blue. Okay, now we can just nicely lay a layer on the top here. Okay, now the next thing we're doing is we're just going to make sure that we have a height on the inside and the outside. We have enough height across the top there. So now we just turn it down a little bit, maybe a little bit more. There we go. Okay, and we're just going to put a little bead around the outside and then one around the inside. that looks pretty good. Now once around the inside. All right, I believe we got enough on there now. That's pretty nice looking. Okay, we'll let it sit there for, well, at least until we get new gas there so we don't run out. We don't want to run out in the middle of the project. When you get something like this hot, you want to continue on until it's not. The wrap around the base, you see how nice it is to just take a, you can take a minute or two and the heat stays right there. You got control of it. Blankets are a very important part of brazing. we just did some brazing, some camera here. Okay, so I'm looking at what my camera temperature is here. Okay, we're like 140 degrees on that front lens there. Let's see back here a little bit, about 102. Here in the battery compartment there, about 110 or so. All right, but it's been filming within 1 foot of my braze job.